Father, in Jesus' name. Lord, we thank you for this evening. We thank you for gathering us again. It is not by power, it is not by might. As we gather this evening to discuss on issues that bordered on our country, Nigeria, we ask that you come and chair the meeting, take control, the moderator, everything about this meeting tonight. We ask that, oh God, you will take perfect control. Let no man, oh God, be glorified, but only you alone. Father, have your way. As we make our input, our contribution, may your name alone remain glorified and exalted. And I'm sure, oh God, that as we'll be ending this meeting, we will not fail to return the glories and praise to you. Thank you, faithful God. Our prayers, oh God, in Jesus Christ's mighty name. Amen.
Amen. Okay, so can you all hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Perfect. Okay, so we would start. Yeah. GM Ayodele, please, I need your confirmation if you can hear me, because I wasn't able to hear you the last time. Okay. GM Ayodele, are you with us? Okay. GM Edison, are you with us?
As always.
Good, great to have you, sir. Great to have you all as well. Okay, so we're going to start. So...
Is that not correct?
Sorry? I didn't hear you, sir.
Is that not correct?
You're very correct, sir. Great to have you. Thank you. Okay, so let's start. I'm not sure if GM Ayodele is here, but I think we're just going to try and move on. So when he can join us, he will join us. All right. Welcome to Yesha's Knowledge Garden. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. We appreciate you sincerely. It's an honor to have every one of you, and thank you for being present today once again. Okay, if you can kindly mute yourself so we can actually for the okay. Thank you very much. Today we're going to be addressing a topic which we started with, which the title was Navigating Nigerian Challenges, a discussion on governance and economy and also social justice. So today we're going to be moving on to the next subject, but before we actually start the topic, we would like to reiterate that we are a gathering of men looking to do the will of the Most High and looking to promote righteousness and morality in the society. So the whole essence of this initiative is an attempt for men to rise up and with the blessings of the Most High able to make some changes and inspire minds and inspire righteousness amongst the youths and every man and every person, both man and woman, within our society, Nigeria. So today we're going to be moving on to the economic side, and we're going to be talking more so about the issues of the economy and looking at how we can propose solutions to those issues. So it's no surprise that Nigeria has a multifaceted problem. We have a governance issue, and now we're going to be discussing another issue, which is the economic issue and the challenges we're experiencing. So Nigeria's economy faces issues such as unemployment, inflation, and dependence on oil revenue. Diversification and sustainable growth are critical for long-term stability, and so we would try to recommend solutions as men, though we are people gathering together for righteousness, but we live in a carnal world, and God has blessed us with the knowledge to be able to propose solution, of course, righteous solutions to this problem. So it'll be interesting to hear the input of every man herein present. So today, my first question as we begin this subtopic is, how can Nigeria diversify its economy beyond oil? Okay, so as usual, each speaker will be given 3 minutes to state their points and to give a response to the question, and afterwards I will transition to the next person. So I would like to call upon GM Edison to give us a response to this question. Okay, so GM Edison, you have 3 minutes The floor is yours. What would you propose as a response to this question? How can Nigeria diversify its economy beyond oil? Your time starts now.
All right. Thank you for the question. I am in full support of people who have been talking about agriculture. Fortunately, too, I am an agronomist. I raise and I sell snails. That aside, I am saying that agriculture will help us go a long way in supporting or helping to not to depend on oil. We have so depended on oil and it has not taken us too far. We were doing well in cocoa and groundnuts and some other items. So agriculture to me is our best alternative that we can improve in our economy. Apart from agriculture, we still have what do I call it again? There are other sources of income that we can embark on to help us improve and not to depend on oil. I just earlier mentioned agriculture. There are other things. So I am in support of agriculture. Agriculture will help us. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much, GM Edison. Thank you for your response. I'll be stopping your timer now. I'm moving over to GM Oladimeji. So the question is, if you can hear me, how can Nigeria diversify its economy beyond oil? So GM Oladimeji, the question is, this question is for you. Okay, so I'm just going to be moving around the house. So can you kindly respond to the question? So you have 3 minutes. I don't know if you can hear me.
Okay. Thank you very much. I heard one of the other things that Nigeria can venture into, like Edison said, is agriculture. Like we all know, cannot overemphasize this. We have seen so many where agriculture has been taking lead in the source of economic growth in an environment, in a community. Take, for example, the southwest of Nigeria. It was agricultural produce that was used to build cocoa house. Over the last time I was at the cocoa house when they celebrated 60 years of the building, cocoa house, which was built by the agricultural produce. So it's obvious that if agricultural industry is well developed, it's going to help us in a good deal. Likewise, if you check, as much as I know, by virtue of reading, even Israel, they do more of agriculture than depending on oil. Most especially the Jews, they are more in agriculture than any other source of income. So there are other mineral resources that we can also venture into. Most especially even in Nigeria, like we are saying, there are so many other natural resources apart from oil that can be a source of income. Not that we're going to move away from the oil, not that we are going to face only one aspect, but let's make use of all the available source of income, source of resources, so that we get more from this, bring everything together, and then we have a tangible resource in the country. I was checking today, I saw the amount of debt that Nigeria is having because we are only facing oil. So, and then I want to remind us that Nigeria know that the world technology is moving away from oil-driven environment. We are now having electric cars. We are now having solar cars. So yes, I know the only thing is not only using fuel. There are other things, but be it as it may, we should make use of every other set of resources to grow this country. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much. I will be moving over to GM Ayodele. So the question is the same for you. How can Nigeria diversify its economy beyond oil? I would like to hear your response on that and see if we have something different or something similar. All right, so the floor is yours and your time starts now, GM Ayodele.
Okay, thank you very much for having me. For me, I would say that before Nigeria can break loose of the monopoly of crude oil, we have to embrace the beauty in diversity beyond words. Most of our presidents have always talked about the beauty in diversity, but I feel like the real beauty is understanding what each ethnicity per local government does specially. For instance, now we have some places where traditionally they plant yam, other places have coal, other places have crude, while other places plant cotton. I feel like through the already started process of giving monopoly to giving authority to the local government to be able to spend their own money, they need to channel them and make them understand that they need to look inward, look at what the locality have specialty in every local government. Then when they look at those primary things that they do, either making sculptures, some could be fishermen, we need to now concentrate on that thing that our local government does locally to advance in money making. That's which the government will now establish fronts in that area to further educate and finance people that do it locally and also scale them properly. For me, that is the way we can actually diversify away from oil, because if you look inward, there are regions where people actually, some regions are skilled in textile, everybody will blossom and the whole Nigeria will be a market for all. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And I'd like to remind our viewers that we are a gathering of a house of golden men. We go by the Golden Men's Fourth, and we're trying to invite as many men who are righteous to come into the fold. Before I transition to the next question, so this is just a short break to let our viewers know who we are while we're gathering. We are a righteous gathering, but at the same time we are living in a carnal environment, and thus we must look inward to see how we can prefer solutions to specific issues. All right, so thank you very much for your responses to the first question. So we're going to move on to the next question, and the question is, what policies can reduce unemployment, especially among youth? Okay, so what policies can reduce unemployment, especially among youth? This is no new issue. This is something we are currently suffering steeply, and we need to find a solution, and that's why we want to rub minds today. So GM Oladimeji, I will be starting with you on this question. Could you kindly tell us your viewpoint as in response to this question, please? So you have 3 minutes to commence, and your time starts now. I don't know if you can hear me before I commence your timer. GM Oladimeji, are you there? Okay, so I'm just going to stop his timer, and I would pass the question over to GM Ayodele. So we'll start it with you, then I will see if it's okay with GM Oladimeji afterwards. Okay, so the question, do you have the question, GM Ayodele? Can I state the question again, or you have it?
Yes, please state the question again.
Okay, so the question is, what policies can reduce unemployment, especially among youth? Okay, so you have 3 minutes to respond.
Okay, like if I understand, like what governmental policy can be introduced to reduce youth unemployment?
Yes, unemployment in general and especially among youth. Okay.
I think I'm for policies to be put in place. There have to be policies that are encouraging for foreign investors, policies that would encourage people to bring their money and establish businesses. Just like the first question that you asked about, with diversifying, when the country is open up to investment on all angles, when investors knows that they can bring in their money and take their money easily, then also the the foreign exchange has to be stable so that people won't feel like if they convert their money from dollar to naira, they will not be losing in those through inflation or through the through the devaluation of the naira. So when all those is put in place, then it will encourage investors to look into the industries that are ready to blossom. Only then can we have industries coming up, companies going up, ready to employ the Nigerian citizens for the expertise that they can actually perform. So I feel like removing the bottlenecks, stabilizing the naira, and also security, understanding that the law is strong enough to protect the investors in Nigeria. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, GM Ayodele. So I think GM Oladimeji is having some network issues. I'm just going to pass the baton now to GM Edison. So the same question goes over to you, GM Edison. What is your response or what is your proposed solution? Your time starts now.
All right. We have had the youths in this nation, in this country, who have developed some equipments. These youths are not encouraged. Rather, when they are what they invent, if they publicize it, the next thing you will hear is they are already at the US. The US government has invited them. They have done this, they have done that. And we are losing these youths. Those who are here around doing one thing or the other, they are not encouraged. So to help the youth to do more is to find that government policies are encouraging. Invite this youth. They can do more if they are encouraged. So my take in this direction, or to help the youth, is even from the beginning, if you have your children, find from them what they like doing. Some children, as they are growing, they like arranging alphabets. They like doing one thing or the other. See to it that these children, these kids are encouraged. They will do more. So, in answer to your question, my dear, is that our youth needs to be more encouraged. Let us not have this brain drain. People, if they do one thing, the next thing, they are no more here. They are taken elsewhere. They are encouraged, and they are doing more in those places. If these youth are encouraged, more youth will also think of what to do so that government will invite them and government will encourage them. That's my little contribution in this regard. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Unfortunately, GM Olajimeji has, I think he mentioned that he had some challenges with his network, and we are hoping that we'll be able to have GM Zeph join us as well, and GM. I think we have another new person who should be joining us. Hopefully, they join in during the course of the session. Okay, but we're going to continue on nonetheless. So the next question I have, and I would like to thank you before moving forward, GM Edison and GM Ayodele, for the response. So next question is, how can small and medium enterprises be supported to drive economic growth? We have a lot of SMEs around, a lot of talented people, really motivated persons. So how can small and medium enterprises be supported to drive economic growth? How do we channel this energy? So the floor is yours, GM Edison. You'll be starting with this response. We'll be responding first to this question. So you have 3 minutes as usual. Your time starts now.
Yeah, I am entrepreneur. I have two registered company, if you call them company. I do aluminum doors, windows, and roof for a living. I'm also a farmer. The way to encourage these small, medium enterprises is if there will be grants. I don't, some people, trainings I have attended, we are encouraged not to start our businesses with loan. Loan can come when you need money to scale the business, not at the beginning. So I am requesting that from within or without, the SME can be better helped with grants instead of loan. What we have all over and around us is loan. And sometimes ago, I got myself involved. I incidentally started my business of snail farming with loan. I am not finding it funny, not funny at all. Had it been a grant, but when I had some teething problem, I couldn't go further. The thing gets stalled. I remained where I had been. So I want to call on government policies, fellow investors within and without, to begin to encourage SME with grants instead of loan. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you very much, GM Edison. GM Ayodele, the same question goes over to you. You have 3 minutes to respond.
Please, can you go over the question?
All right. So let me stop your timer. Okay. All right. So the question is, how can small and medium enterprises be supported to drive economic growth? Okay. So that's the question, and you have 3 minutes.
I think most of that has been answered by this current administration, because the new tax law has pointed to that regards. The fact that the new SMEs earning less than 50 million naira every year will be exempted from paying tax. That alone right there encourages new entrepreneurs in coming into the market and trying to balance their acts. So it's not like you have to make a return to the government even when you make 5 million. So they are stretching the bandwidth, understanding that if you're not made up to this threshold, then you're not taxable. That right there is an encouragement to entrepreneurs, and that would make a lot of people be more ready to actively participate and try out entrepreneurship, hiring new hands, and also expanding the industries. So one other thing I feel like the government should do is access to funds. These entrepreneurs must easily be able to walk up to a financial institute for capital assistance. That way, it is not just you giving them a tax-free bandwidth. It will also be you brave enough to inject, with some securities, though, inject capital into the creativity of the country. This will be like a challenge to the youth and also the small businesses in order to expand and also give a lot of things trials. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So we'll just take a final question before we go on a brief break. As you know, we have 2 breaks in total. So the first break is 5 minutes and the second break also 5 minutes. And this will allow you time to stretch or tend to any urgent matter of importance. Okay. All right. So the next question is, so Mr. GM Ayodele, I thank you very much. And also GM Edison. I'll be moving on to the next question. And the question is, what impact does inflation have on Nigerian households, and how can it be controlled? So the question again is, what impact does inflation have on Nigerian households, and how can it be controlled? So GM Ayodele, I'll be starting with you. Can you kindly give us your response to this question?
This is a very tough one because inflation is affecting everybody, whether you are grown or you are little. The truth is, it cannot really be shaken off because inflation cuts through our daily lives, feeding everything you want to do, moving around, transportation, and all. The best thing that can be done is in the hands of the government to manage the economy better and to give our currency strength. Without that, the common man will be the one feeling the pains of inflation. There is no way around it because once the purchasing power gets reduced, everybody feels it. Nobody is exempted. Even if you're given a tax break or whatever, your purchasing power has been reduced. And if your income has not increased, it will have a direct impact on your spending ability. And that in turn makes you rank your most preferred items on survival basis, which will reduce what you have gotten before to what you can get now. So the only advice we can have for households is making sure that their scale of preference is decent enough to keep the dignity of the households, prioritizing food, shelter, and clothing in that order. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So the next same question goes over to you, GM Edison. So I will take the question again so you can have an idea of how best to respond. So what impact does inflation have on Nigerian households, and how can it be controlled? Okay, GM Edison, this question is for you. Are you there? Are you here with us?
Very well, I am.
All right. Okay. So you have 3 minutes to respond.
Yeah, sometimes ago, we were hearing about the interest of government to come back again with price control. I don't know when this government is going to carry it out. Some years past, we used to have price control. If they can go back to that, I think it will reduce the impact of this government policy that is affecting everybody. Now, if, like we have now, there is a price increase in fuel, everything went up. And when it is coming down like it is now, 820 naira per liter in some places, transporter will not consider that. They have pegged the fare at a particular rate and they cannot come down. If government we look that way to see how we can control that, the impact of government policy will be reduced considerably. But without price control, government carry out their policy, whoever is affected, however is affecting the citizen, it doesn't bother them. They are looking the other side and carrying out their policy. I think they can do something. And I support the bringing back of price control. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So at this junction, we're going to take a 5 minutes break, and I would this will be allow for everyone hearing to stretch, take a drink, and really tend to things that are probably urgent or important that you can respond to within that time limit. So we will take a break, and I would ask you all to kindly reconnect at exactly 5 minutes, okay, so we can continue the remainder of the discussion. Okay, at this junction, we're going to allow for advert placements, and also that goes out to the viewers. If you want to support this programming directly, we're gathering together, we're trying to see how we can actually make a change. This doesn't end as discussions. At some point where we'll be willing to rally together to see what kind of actions we can take, obviously in accordance to the law, as much as we can. So every indirect contribution or direct is welcomed. So if you would want to support this program with your advert placements, you're welcome. You not only support us, but you also get your products and your brand out there. So without wasting any more of your time, so we'll go on a 5 minutes break, and we would reconnect shortly. Okay, so kindly disconnect. Thank you. All right, so at this junction, we'll be having a pause. During this time, we allow for 5 minutes break for the participants to stretch, take a drink, get some level of refreshments, or tend to urgent affairs, and then they would have to reconnect promptly after the expiration of that 5 minutes that was allotted. So we have also a debate page, okay, so which is YKG contest. Okay, so this page is YKG, which is Yasha's Knowledge Garden. And we also have another page, YKG contest, wherein participants from 7 upwards can compete and debate for cash prizes in different categories and different levels. We also have tournaments as well. This is what this adverts time we would allow for. We also allow for advert placements on for those who would like to place adverts on the program. It will be a way of indirectly supporting us while getting your putting your products out there to the public. So we would also like to take this avenue to call on men who are given to righteousness, men who have a love and a sincere care for their brothers and for the Most High God. So we are calling on those men to selflessly give their time to participate in these discussions. And as we move forward to more responsibilities that need action, we would surely require those men to come on board as early as possible. So we are intent driven. We're not just here for traction, but of course traction is needed to be able to garner the following and get the weight behind us that we need, and the diversity that brings in people coming from different walks of life and different influences and relevances, which would help us to be a multifaceted force needed to be able to tackle what is ahead of us. We believe that if we have righteous men, we can be able to start to solve some small ills as we progressively move forward in fixing a society. I personally believe, as the host, that we have a responsibility as men to stand up, and we need to take that responsibility immediately. And the Most High has called all men to pray, and likewise women, but there's a scripture that talks about that effectively, and we're calling all men not only to pray but to take action and be exemplary to those we are over and to those younger ones, which we hope that someday we'll be able to have a grooming center that will groom men, young men, to be responsible, God-fearing, and men of duty and having a sense of selflessness to their community. So this is the goal we have, and I hope we'll be able to get people who would sign up to it. Thank you. So we can take a break now. Was that paid to you as?
I received the payment.
Okay.
So yes, I did. I received the cash prize of 10,000 naira.
I actually got it like promptly. I got it promptly. There was no delay. I think within an hour I had already received it.
Hi there, my name is Yasharaler, and of course I'm here to present to you an awesome opportunity for you to participate in the YKG Online Speed State Debates. Of course, we've been organizing debates prior to today, but what is special about today is that we've been moving from the national all the way to the state, and we will be debating on topics that are more so channeled on issues as it relates to the state. And of course, having two contenders going head to head and allowing the viewers using the comment section to determine who the victor is. And for speed debates, we typically have a payout of 10,000 naira, which is paid 4 days after the debate goes live. And we also have a ranking system where we encourage people to re-participate with the purpose of attaining higher ranks. And if you're able to get to the maximum rank, they have a total payout of 500,000 in addition to their earnings. Sounds like fiction? No. This isn't fiction, guys. Moving on, just in case you want to have an idea of what the debates are like, we have some snippets coming through in just a moment. And of course, if you're interested, feel free to message us, okay? Adios.
The main point is the government is responsible for budget allocation.
Okay, so Mr. Ayodele, do you have a response to that?
Yes, I do. Going in first, I'll say that I appreciate your statements, but we need to be realistic here.
Now, this can also be achieved through inclusive urban planning, investment in human capital and infrastructure, the promotion of social services and economic opportunities. Thank you.
All right, so of course I see.
Mr. Barry.
Yes, go ahead. I see you smiling over
I have two questions for Mr. Barry.
Yes.
Number one, how is government policies not been efficient in regulating urban areas?
Okay, so I don't know if you caught that, Mr. Excellent.
So you're saying that younger people should emphasize the respect to their elders?
Yes, because
are you saying that younger people shouldn't?
Go ahead, Mr. Excellence. Of course, anyone can go ahead.
So I would like to state that I think the major economic factor that I believe is responsible for the high rate of unemployment within the country is the government's negligence to develop the non-oil sector.
It can help them to understand what social media can do to help Nigeria teenagers.
The floor is yours, Roslyn, if you have an opposition or an elaboration.
You don't serve God, you don't do everything where they good, but you still they suffer. You know why? Oh yeah, wait now, I go tell you.
Welcome to Yasha's Knowledge Garden.
My pikin, you don't decide to serve Baba God. As you did decide serve Baba God, make you decide, prepare yourself for temptation, because hey, Satan no go let you be. So make you prepare your mind, make you prepare to endure. Anything wey go come your side, try shake you, make you know the fear when trouble come. Make you stick to Baba God like gum. Make you stick to him, till the end, and you go see say Baba God, as you resist waiting devil they try throw at you, you go see say God go come at the end. Remember, see, this temptation to man or this trial to man be like gold where they pass through fire. It dey hot, it go burn the gold, but at the end, gold go shine. Make you no shake.
If you want to explore the garden of knowledge, click below to subscribe. Still on the subject of economy, okay, and I have a final question. So there's a final question to be responded to, and I'm going to commence. All right, so we are back from the break, and thank you for sticking with us, you the viewers. We're going to be continue on with the question from the economic side of things, and the next question we have on this note is: how can Nigeria attract foreign investment while protecting local industries. So typically, we have instances where foreign investors tend to drown out local investors themselves. So how can Nigeria attract simultaneously and at the same time protect local industries? And I would be starting with you, GM Edison, to respond to this question. Your time starts now. You're muted, GM Edison.
Oh, sorry about that. I didn't know.
No problem. Go ahead, please.
Okay, so it will be very, very important that our operators, our government operators, they encourage the local operators, encourage them by way of the policy. It will not be okay for only the local manufacturers. The foreign investors should be encouraged. But if you ask me, there is a way I think government can do it, that the local manufacturers, the policy favors them more. Even the foreign investors who want to come in through the local manufacturers. By that way, I think that we will improve economically. What of some of those governments, other countries, where they will shut down their borders, nothing is coming into their place to ensure that the local manufacturers, their own businesses move forward. How about that in Nigeria? If others have done it and succeeded, why not in Nigeria? So there are different ways, I believe, that they can, if they want to, for us to improve and encourage the local manufacturers. That is a much I want to suggest. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, GM Edison. So I'll be moving over to GM Ayodele. So I think that is null, if I'm not mistaken. All right. So GM Ayodele, the floor is yours. So the same question goes over to you. What solution would you propose?
Okay, for me, the solution we can propose, because there's always a problem of balancing the local market and the foreign investors, which the two deal are very important to every economy. As much as you want your local market to expand and flourish, you would also want an exposure to the foreign investor that can provide adequate security, adequate competition for the local investors, and also a kind of standard so that your local investors can also fight and also improve themselves in that market. Policies like protecting the market so that the foreign investor does not flood the market with their products in a way that the local investors cannot actually sell at all or compete. Making sure that there's regulation for prices, making sure that there's a standard that everybody must meet, making sure that nobody's holding a monopoly of price or trying to siphon out the other because of financial capability. Also, because now the first one I mentioned about the pricing in overpopulating the market with products, and that is we trying to protect the local market. Also, the standard is trying to protect the local market and even the consumers at large. And also making sure that there's also a policy that can come about where some countries make sure that before you can register or enter into an industry, there will be a certain percentage of local indigenes on your board. That way, they can treat and allow your foreign goods to be treated like local goods also, understanding that there are people on your board that would support the narration of the local economy. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. Once again, GM Ayodele. So I'll be moving on to GM Zeph. Thank you. Thank you for joining us on the latter part of this section, this discussion. So the same question goes over to you, GM Zeph. The question is, how can Nigeria attract foreign investments while protecting local industries? Are you there with us? Are you here with us, GM Zeph?
So just parked anyway. I was driving.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was in a very critical meeting a while ago. I just finished. I was just heading up. I think what I would suggest here is this: it's very difficult at this moment in Nigeria because there is no healthy competition. There's no policy that creates healthy competition between foreign investors and local investors. Because when you look at it, technically, there's no match. Financially, when you look at credit facilities, the policies are not backing up the local investors. So when you look at it, it's always, and even some of the laws and policies are not ready for, external investors, because when you don't have policies that protect and secures the environment, it is difficult for an investment. And this is why you see everywhere seems to be tight, things seems to be difficult, because every investor wants the value of their money. So when they could not get an environment where they should, secure all this, it's difficult for an investment, both for the foreign investors and the local investors. And another thing that actually the local players, like manufacturers and other businesses, is that the enabling. There are a lot of things that make an enabling environment, like security, power, and other logistics. They are not there. And you see, the cost of running business in Nigeria is actually very high. And you look at it that both the foreign investors and local investors suffer the same fate. So I think for all those things to be possible and thrive, the government has a lot to do in terms of creating policies that could help these people, and also enable them in certain way, because the facilities for, say, manufacturing companies are quite different from the local consumers. So there should be some leeways that could help the local manufacturers, at least to take, for instance, in terms of food producing. If you don't have these things in place, definitely you can't meet up your food security within the system. I think the environment now is not healthy for such things. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, GM Zeph. So at this point, we're going to be moving over to the next subtopic, which is social justice challenges. So, social justice concerns in Nigeria include inequality, ethnic tensions, and access to education and health care. Addressing this issue is very vital, evidently, for national unity and development. And the first question under this is, how can Nigeria promote equal access to quality education for all regions? Okay, and to respond to this question, I'll be starting with you, GM Ayodele. Your time starts now. You have 3 minutes. GM Ayodele, are you there with us? All right, so I'll be passing the baton to GM Edison. So I will take the question again. So we are over at social justice challenges, and the first question we have for this section is, how can Nigeria promote equal access to quality education for all regions? So you have 3 minutes as before.
I will suggest that, that it will have to come from the federal government, given that you said all regions. All regions are controlled, are under the influence of the federal government. So for every region to have access to quality education, it has to come from the federal government. Some states don't have the capacity to give out education at certain level. In fact, some levels, they don't. Is recently, Benue State government announced, I think sometime this week, they announced that there will be free education. So not all the states have done that, and not all states are going to do so. But if it is federal government that is having such idea that all regions should have quality education, then it will be possible. So that is the much I want to say about quality education for all regions. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, GM Edison. So I'm going to stop your timer and move over to GM Zeph. Okay, so question is, how can Nigeria promote equal access to quality education for all regions?
Okay, thank you very much. I think the question there is how, which means there is no access to quality education. That's one. And when you talk about regional education, which means also it is not feasible. Now, for this to happen, there are certain elements that need to be in place. One, the issue of indigenous whatever in indigenous classification or whatever within the national education need to be erased. Not minimized, need to be erased. So everybody has to have access to equal opportunity and equal education. And from what I gathered in Nigeria is that I don't think there's a feasible or effective national education curriculum. And if you don't have this, so it might be either state by state, whatever they put in place or whatever, that's okay. So it's not going to bring out that quality education process as a national framework. Then another thing is this. If Nigeria want also to provide a quality and accessible education, education should be made a priority. Not when you talk, like the other colleagues said, free education, and it's not accessible, whereby the state government will decide how things are being run. If it's a national, it needs to be national, and if it needs to be created an emergency, it needs to have an emergency framework within the national, and they have to decide or design how it's going to be. Education in Nigeria needs to be a priority, because there's a whole lot of people who are ill-educated, misinformed, miseducated, so that this framework will be the same in the north, in the south, in the east, and in the west. So these are how educational framework need to be. And from time to time, these need to be reviewed. And when you say free education and you have private schools, whereby they do whatever they want, they set their own curriculum and run their own financial implications within the educational framework, how can it be national? So you have the private, even in foreign countries, even if you're private or you're public, you have the same educational curriculum and run the same educational framework. So I think there's a whole lot to do around there. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, GM Zeph. Thank you for your contribution. So I'll be moving over to GM Ayodele. So if you're with us, do kindly let me know. So I tried passing the baton over to you previously. All right. So the question is, how can Nigeria promote equal access to quality education for all regions? So this question is over to you, GM Ayodele. You have 3 minutes. Can you kindly signify if you're there or not?
Okay, I'm here. Well, I have some network issues. Please, can you repeat the question?
All right, so let me just start your timer over again. Okay, so the question is, how can Nigeria promote equal access to quality education for all regions? Okay, so that's the question, and you have 3 minutes to respond.
Okay, thank you. For me, I feel Nigeria has given. We're supposed to be past this stage now, by now, because this is a question due for probably 30 to 40 years ago. Because I think education was given to everybody, but we have different. There have been different mannerism in accepting this education across the regions. Now we have, because I have been privileged to travel to other regions and seen their perception towards their participation towards education. Now, Nigeria is already doing a lot, even though there are some regions that are actually against this or undermines education. Now, if you say that we want equal opportunity for everybody, how about we have regions where we have overcrowding in classes, where parents have to do more in order to keep their wards in class because there have been an exposure to the importance of education. And on the other hand, we have some regions where they have to literally be begged to come for education, or it is just not safe to go to school in those areas, whether by constraint of distance or the rurality of the environment, or terrorists that are hell-bent on probably not allowing them to get education the Western way. Now, how do you now seek for balance in this instance, where you would actually need more effort to spread education in those kind of regions than in the other regions where there is even overcrowding in the school, where facilities are actually being laid back on the parents in order for them to get adequate education? So for me, this question is a tricky one. I would say that the buck stops at the final unit, the most simple unit of each household across the regions, which is the family. Once the family is educated enough to understand the importance of education, then it will be easy for the general public to come as a community to improve education. This instance cannot just be relied on government, because there's so many responsibilities the government have to do. The willingness to learn has to come. Without that, then effort would just be wasted. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. GM Edison, I'm not sure if you have responded to this question or not. Can you kindly remind me? Okay, I think he's left the chat. All right, so next we'll be moving over to the next question. The question is, what strategies can reduce ethnic and religious conflicts? This is a big issue in Nigeria, and I think there have been some issues raised recently on this topic. So what strategies can reduce ethnic and religious conflicts? Okay, so I'll be starting with you, GM Ayodele. You have 3 minutes to respond. Thank you.
Okay, please, can you go over the question, please?
All right, so the question is, what strategies can reduce ethnic and religious conflicts? Okay, your time starts now.
Okay, one of the strategies that comes to mind when to reduce religions and ethnic crisis is embracing the unity in diversity. Everybody must be seen as important. There mustn't be an importance to where you come from as regards opportunity. If the government collectively decides to remove religion and where you're from the CVs or criteria for hiring, I think that's a way forward. Because if where you're from or the religion you do is still being stated on your application to get a job, then there will always be preference, as the employer would always be on a quadrant. And if you're not in that quadrant, the probability of you getting that opportunity would be taken from you because you're not there. So if those quadrants don't exist, I feel like the focus will go on efficiency of delivering, which is supposed to be the order of the day. We have to reduce the importance of ethnicity when it comes to, and religion when it comes to opportunity in the country. Once that is taken away, people will look directly to results. We should run a result-oriented community where performance should be the criteria for selection for opportunity, not where you're from, not who you call on. So that way, I feel like it starts from the perception of the people, understanding that it is not important where you're from, but what you can do. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, GM Ayodele. Thank you. Next, this same question goes over to GM Edison. I will take the question again for clarity. What strategies can reduce ethnic and religious conflicts? GM Edison, your time starts now. You have 3 minutes.
I want to toe the lines of the last speaker. It has been an issue back here somewhere. Let me not mention the locality or the state, but from my explanation, we all know. Even your name speaks against you. By the time they ask you of your name, if your name does not sound like you are from that region, you are already at a disadvantage. And it is undoing us. If someone is better in the area that is needed to be filled, because he or she, the name does not sound like he is from that region, she's not from that region. Only God will help the person to gain the employment or get what he or she is.
That's quite unfortunate. I think I'm going to give an opportunity for the last speaker to also retrace his words. So I'm going to stop the timer and give the last speaker an opportunity if he's able to join us again. So I'm going to ask you the same question, GM Zeph. What strategies can reduce ethnic and religious conflict? So 3 minutes.
All right, thank you. I think the major thing is this. There is no nationalism as far as I'm concerned in Nigeria. Until that is brought into play, I don't know when we were talking about how to manage and look into eliminating the ethnic issues in Nigeria, because whereby there is a national framework, a national policies that cut across all ethnicity, and that's when we will start thinking about eradicating things like that. Now, another thing is this: our laws has not been effectively implemented to, curb issues of ethnicity and religion. Politically, I think they have a kind of weaponized the system. Politicians now weaponize the system in a way that is where they thrive. They create fracas, they create bias, they create, issues within the system, within ethnicity, that people will now say, oh, this is mine, this is not mine. When even your politicians are doing the wrong thing, but because they are from your area, those things that are wrong will be right. And when other regions, especially the the minority ethnic ones, did it, or done it, then it becomes a sin. It becomes punishable. I think those things doesn't build a nation. So religiously too, you see where some religious leaders has found, a kind of ethnicity or religious inclinations whereby, he or she is not a Christian, so this must happen. He or she is not a Muslim, this has to happen. So all these things are, I think, is a policy and political issues that need to actually be handled. If a really strategy need to be in place, these things has been critically looked into. The National Assembly is not actually a saint here because they have not made things easy or better to make sure that the laws, if they are not there, need to be implemented or need to be put in place, and if they are there, need to be implemented. So most of all these things, political leaders and religious leaders are actually corporate here. Also, most traditional rulers are not even doing their own bit. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. GM Edison, I'm going to give you about 2 minutes to just complete your statement. I think you were disconnected there. So if you can complete the statement you were trying to make, that would be nice. So my days, okay. So GM Edison has left us again. All right, so at this point we're going to take another break, okay, and then we would call it a day after the final half of the session. So we're going to go on another 5 minutes break, and hopefully we can get more people in by then. So we would stop at this junction and then reconnect again for the final part of our discussion. So we have about 3 more questions for you. So I have 3 more questions for you, and we're going to take another break to allow for advert placements, and also for those of you who don't know, our viewers, we also have a debate section wherein most of these topics we're discussing today can also be debated for a cash prize, and for the details you'll be able to hear that during the break. All right, so please let's kindly disconnect and reconnect again for the final section after 5 minutes. So we have a 5 minutes break for you to stretch as usual and take a drink or something. All right, so see you soon.
Don't be jealous of your wife, and don't teach her to act against you. Don't give up your independence or let a woman control your resources. Avoid a meeting with prostitutes, or you may fall into their traps. Don't spend too much time with female singers, or you might get caught up in their charms. Don't stare at young women, so you won't be tempted by their beauty. Don't give yourself over to prostitutes, or you could lose your inheritance. Avoid wandering the city streets or lonely places without purpose. Turn your eyes away from beautiful women, and don't desire another's beauty. Many have been misled by a woman's looks, for beauty can ignite passion like a fire. Don't spend time alone with another man's wife, or get close to her over drinks, or your heart may be drawn to her and lead you to ruin.
I'm a bit tense today because I was just speaking on a topic, and for some reason I wasn't able to conclude the topic. So I want to take the topic again, and it's something I'm really passionate about, and I want to talk about the stubborn curiosity of man. I had spoken earlier on the curiosity of man, why man tries to endlessly dabble into the unknown, into things that have been evidently concealed by a supreme being. And the foolishness of man to contest the existence of a supreme being, irrespective of the evidences that are around us. The finite forms, the defined structures, the complexity of design, both in all aspects and species of life. How do we, in our so-called enlightened minds and advanced thinking, refute what evidently has been brought about by a designer, a great designer? Isn't that foolishness, or would I say, because I wouldn't say foolishness, because I don't think in honesty that we do not know that there is a creator. I think there is a spirit of defiance that lays or that lies within us. For those of us who defy the divinity, the presence, the supreme power, and the creative imaginations and the dexterity and the intelligence of the Most High. How dare you? How dare you fathom that there isn't a creator? And now, why do I speak about these things? I speak about these things because even us as creations, we are intelligent enough to say, okay, we want to decide to keep certain things secret or concealed. Why? Because we understand the power or the danger or the importance that thing holds. And so we keep it in the most secured location. And with now, in this present time with technology, we have many forms of security that would deter any attempt of accessing that location. Don't you think that the Most High himself would have created several things that have an intent for a later time or for a purpose that should not be accessed by any other creation? Don't you think so? And hence he has kept this thing concealed. But the stubborn curiosity of man seems to want to venture via dark arts or so-called sciences in an attempt to know what has been hidden or in an attempt to have power. Now, that will lead to your definite destruction, man.
In the building, yes sir. Wait, I don't show. Hey, I don't show. Eh? Wait, see what happen for here. Yes sir, that me Oporoko original. As you know, what we they do for here? Waiting me they do for here now. Adverts. In case you want publicity, but also we then take and give basic knowledge. Give this our small pickings. Then we they like me. Yes, so we be like me. Oh hey. So make we take enter this matter. Today we want to talk about to you teenagers them and small pickings them. Make you take know your fundamental rights as Nigerians. Because if I say we they grow, we know they sabi waiting with the waiting we supposed to know as country people. So today we want to talk about fundamental rights. Yes, so first right where you supposed to know as you be Nigerian. So you get the right to life. Nobody can come and just say, hey, they won't come kill you. You get right to life, but you go there. You go need stay safe. Make you no enter a serious problem. But you get right to life. Nobody so under normal circumstance. Except say they sentence you. You get right to live. You don't commit anything. You don't buy anybody when we say the judgment. Nobody supposed to get right by you. Nobody supposed to get right. So right to life. Next. Now right to the dignity of the human person. It means say nobody supposed to humiliate you. Nobody supposed to don't get right, torture you, put you for corner, tie you, keep for one corner. No, you get right to dignity. Human dignity as a human person. Next right where you're supposed to be now, right to personal liberty. Personal liberty means say you get freedom. But make your freedom no go the free for another person freedom. Yes, so you get freedom. Right to liberty. If you move around, you feel talk, but you know, for this channel we then teach wisdom. Wisdom is speech, and even in the moving around there. But normally you get right to move. Normally. Right to fair hearing. Now another one. You see, imagine say you get case, nobody suppose oppress you. Say you no go, they no go hear your own side of the matter. Even Bible go tell you say you go need hear two sides. So we too, we get that. Yes, so at least that one they put out for inside law, right to fair hearing. So before any judgment they go take for your matter, they go need hear you, hear you wella. Let you take state your own case. Then person where they in charge normally court, judge, go take a look at the matter. May they take say okay, this person they wrong, this person they right.
All right, so we're going to head back to it. So basically, we're still on the social justice challenges questions. Okay, so the next question I have for you is, I don't know if you can hear me. Just to confirm, you both can hear me. GM Zeph and GM Edison, can you hear me loud and clear?
Yes, I can.
Thank you very much for sticking around. GM Zeph, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Perfect. Okay, so let's get to it. So next question for this section is, how can healthcare services be improved and made affordable? So for this question, I would ask you, GM Zeph, to kindly respond. You have 3 minutes.
Say that again.
All right, so the question is, how can healthcare services be improved and made affordable? Okay, so the question is yours, GM Zeph. You can go ahead.
Okay, thank you. It goes down to some policy and also
GM Zeph, I'm going to come over to you again with the same question, but for now your network seems to be distorted, so I'm just going to pass the baton over to GM Edison. Then I would move over to you, GM Zeph. Then afterwards, luckily we have GM Ayodele in the house. So GM Edison, so I'm going to move the question over to you as the first respondent. So the question is, how can healthcare services be improved and made affordable? Okay, so you have 3 minutes to respond to this question, GM Edison.
It is very possible. It is very possible. It's a matter of the willingness of the operators of our policies. It's not something undoable. If the will is there, our people, our leaders in government can do it. Can I tell you something?
Go ahead.
This policy we are talking about, I mentioned to you some times ago about the demise of my wife. It was purely the way that the operators, government hospital handled it. Can you imagine an X-ray done in November? They were telling me to come back for the result in January. And I asked, if you can't do it and get out the result for the doctor to use, why don't I go to another center to do the X-ray for my wife so that the doctor can treat her? They said, no, it must be here, or else I may want to go to another hospital. And I prefer government hospital. From November, I should wait till January to get results. What kind of policy, what kind of operators do we have? Life doesn't mean anything. And I tell you, I lost my wife on the 15th of November. She couldn't survive December. Neither talk about January. So it is the willingness of our people, of government, people who are there should be ready to carry out what they are expected to do. I like Venezuela. If you are sick, you just call the doctor. The doctor will, from where they are, come to your house to treat you. It's possible. Venezuela is also an oil country. These people go elsewhere. They get the services, but they come to Nigeria and behave another way. It's painful. And I like I said earlier, it is the desire, it is the willingness of government to say we can and let us do it. That's my stand. That's my take. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Honestly, I will say we probably had I had no idea, and I believe the others had no idea that this question touches directly to your experience, and a sad one at that. I'm deeply sorry for your loss. This is an unfortunate situation, and just want to extend my condolences to you, GM Edison. It's just a sad situation. It's unfortunate, and so I'm just going to try and continue on with the questioning, but we are deeply sorry for your loss, and the Most High strengthen you as you go forward. And thank you for being present, and thank you for being as motivated to stick with us despite the freshness of that wound. All right, so let's move on to the next person. So GM Ayodele, so the same question goes over to you. How can healthcare services be improved and made affordable? So GM Ayodele, are you with us? All right, so I'm going to pass the baton to GM Zeph. So same question goes over to you, GM Zeph. How can healthcare services be improved and made affordable? So you have 3 minutes to respond.
Well, I think it's possible if there is dedication and a devotion by the operators, like the former speaker said, in the system. But on the other way around, I don't see how it will be possible whereby the managers of the system don't believe in the system they are managing. Because if they believe in the system they are managing, they should put the necessary processes in place. Not only the establishments, but make sure that they are working. So if they could prefer going medical tours, abroad and so many other places outside where they are managing, it tells the story. So it is possible if the implementation of the law should take its course. Secondly, it should be possible if there are consequences in those who violate this law, whereby people are punished for not doing the job they're supposed to do or not achieving the result they're supposed to be according to their, roles and responsibilities. That says it all. So it is possible if we could get the right people in the right places. You see some medical doctors, they don't function well, in Nigeria, but when they leave the shores of Nigeria, they actually perform creditably. That shows you that something seriously is wrong with the system. Now, on the other way around, I want to sympathize with, GM Ayodele for, the sad story. Please, I send my condolences. Oh, GM Edison, sorry. I send my condolences. See, you can't tell the stories. There's a lot. I lost a family friend of mine in 2020 in the same guise. This is not that the person, he doesn't have the money to travel. He has been, he has been assigned to travel to Dubai, paid all the medical expenses, everything was in place. But the National Hospital of Abuja, for the fact that they are going to lose the money, refused to release this man from the hospital to give him the necessary papers. And he ended up, a week before he should travel, he died. And this is a system. You see, it goes to the poor, it goes to the rich. So it's all about the ears of the system. So if the government should put emergency on medical, processes, I think it should be eliminated, not even minimized. It should be eliminated. But in the system whereby nobody cares, nobody is interested in how things run and who misrules the rules, then I think it seems to be difficult. And also, whereby the less privileged don't have access to just medical care. If you're sick, it should be held first.
Okay, so GM Zev, I would have to stop you at this point. Sorry. So your time is up. So I will move over to GM Ayodele. GM Ayodele, are you with us, please? GM Ayodele, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
All right. So the same question goes over to you. How can healthcare services be improved and made affordable? You have 3 minutes to respond. Thank you.
For me, I feel there needs to be deliberate investment in the local traditional way of making medicine, or maybe adding the modern way of doing it. But we need to double down on that, because that has always sufficed. I think the problem with that now is understanding the quantity to be taken. I think that's where the problem is always arising from. But the government needs to double down on investments, try to expand the industry so that it can cater for the larger population. Also channel bodies like NAFDAC to have capacity buildings with these local people, where they can also get more knowledge on advancement of the local medicine economy in Asian countries, where that is probably the order of the day. We can now use that to continue the basis of what we have known for a long time on a commercial level. Because chasing child shadows and the big pharma is not good enough for the African country. We need to have our own special way of treating things that is different to the world, so that when it comes to health development, we can have a say by describing how we go about in making our health better, instead of playing catch up or just looking over the shoulders of another region of the world just because we feel ours is inferior and less investment is being placed in that region. Thank you.
All right, thank you, GM Ayodele. So we're going to be moving to the final question of the day. And the question is, how can marginalized communities be empowered politically and economically? So how can marginalized communities be empowered politically and economically? So to start off this question, I'll be starting with GM Zeph. So you have 3 minutes, GM Zeph.
Well, there's not much to say about here. It's all about how the system has been designed. The rural communities actually should be empowered through the local government areas. But whereby the local government areas are not functioning, erodes to the state, and also for lack implementation of national policies. So when you look at all these things, it trickles down towards the people, the communities who are actually supposed to be the bedrock of the system, because everybody in the system comes from a community. Whether you're living in the urban areas, you're living in the city, you're living in the rural communities, we all comes from communities. So for it to be function properly, the local governments should be made to function properly. And economically, every economy is built from the grassroots. It's built from the community, right? And whatever system you try to build, goes from startups, micro businesses to corporations or multi corporations. So whereby the system is loose or not functioning properly, those state, national, or
GM Zeph, are you there? Okay, so we can't hear you, GM Zeph. If you can hear us, can you kindly say something?
being swallowed by, the small ones are being swallowed by, whenever they say when you're rich, you continue being rich. There's no limitation. So there's every need possible to make sure that the rural communities are developed, not only developed, well developed, then, and made in power, so that whatever that is lacking, there should not be anything lacking between the community and the urban areas. You can actually live in the urban areas and you can actually live in the rural communities and function effectively. I think there's every need for those things to be properly put in the system. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much, GM Zeph. So this same question, I'll be moving over to GM Edison. The question is, for clarity, how can marginalized communities be empowered politically and economically? So you have 3 minutes, GM Edison. The time starts now. All right.
All right. Thank you. Yes, economically it is possible if the facilities are there. Somebody who is living outside Lagos, if there are good roads, if the roads are good, if the transportation arrangement is okay, somebody who has his or her products, his product in the rural area can bring them to the city to sell. But the roads are not there. Bad road, no electricity to preserve, and it is painful. I have this idea that there is a way we can do it if the willingness is there. I've always been talking, and I think I'm not the only person saying it. If the willingness is there by the operators of those policies, it is possible for us to work. Were we not told? Are you not aware that there is something called the quota system? It has been there, but people are not the leaders, the government operators, the operators of those policies. They are not there looking that direction anymore. No more. That policy is there for ages, but they are not using it again. So politically, they are not willing to do it. Economically, they are not ready to develop, to give us electricity, to give us good roads. They are not willing. So it is still boiling back to government. We have been saying government. Yes, it's government. What else can we do? We pray, we work, but the policies that are there are not implemented. So we go back to that same bad side of it. So that's my take. I hope God one day will touch them to do what they are supposed to do. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you very much. Today we've come to the close of today's discussion. So we have to remember when we started this initiative that we are not only going to be speaking on this platform. We're going to talk because talk is projected across board. But at the same time, our goal for coming together as golden men will be to actually find ways to actively put some solutions in place in our own little ways. There are so many things that we can do, and we're calling all men that are righteous in heart, selfless and moral, to kindly join this movement, and let us begin to have chats so that we can chart a righteous course towards a solution. So I thank you both for sticking around. The other brothers and golden men have, I believe that they have some issues with their network. And of course, I know it takes a lot of sacrifice to be up this late, having gone about our various businesses. Thank you. It's a selfless action, and it's appreciated. So as we come to a close today, I would like to remind you, our viewers, if you're a man or even if you're a woman, to kindly project this to your young men. If you are mothers, also to your husbands, let them know that there is a call for duty, and we need more men. We cannot do it alone, and the stronger we are, the more numbers we have, the stronger we are. So please do us a favor, help us project this and bring in more men. And if you're a man hearing today and you have a sense of a calling, a moral duty, we invite you to join in. So without further ado, we are done for today. Thank you so much. Thank you. You were the last two to stuck around with me. It's quite late, so I thank you for making the sacrifices, and of course the other golden men that have left us. So please, as usual, we are nothing without the Most High God. We are nothing without the Most High. We are nothing without the grace of His Son. So as we started with a prayer, we're going to end with a prayer. And like I say, it's a problem, although it seems to be physical, but we must understand that nothing happens on the physical plane without the spiritual intervention. And if we are decayed in terms of morality, in terms of spirituality, if we are corrupted from within, which is a sickness within our society, if we do not fix that sickness, if we do not decide to change, then a spiritual problem manifests itself physically, and hence the current stench and decay around us. So thank you so much once again, and please, I would like to ask this time GM Zeph. I don't know who prayed out for us the last time, so I think GM Edison, you opened with a prayer for us. So I think GM Zeph, kindly help us close the session with a prayer. Thank you.
I'm actually in a public place.
Okay. Okay, so GM Edison, you're the pastor for today. Okay, so the floor is yours, GM Edison. If you can kindly pray for us. Oh, he's left. Okay, so all right, so I would probably say the prayer since it's just the two of us. Father in heaven, we thank you for today. We exalt your name, the great I am. We give you thanks and praise. We thank you so much for this day. We thank you so much for the avenue, the means to be able to come together. Father, we ask you through your Son, Christ Yeshua, that you begin to work that which you have incepted in our hearts. Father, we ask for the blessings, your grace, your understanding. Father, as you have sown this seed in our hearts, as you have brought inceptors to gather together. Oh Father, we ask that you bring in those men that will be able to work wonders. That we will not only be a platform that speaks, we will be a platform for action. And you will teach us to act in humility. You will teach us not to only gather, but we shall gather for selflessness. So Father, as we have started, may you water. As we have gathered together to do the work, may your hands of blessings be placed upon us as we advance this work. In Christ Yeshua's name we pray. Amen. All right, so thank you so much, GM Zeph. So we are done for today. So thank you for sticking around. Do have a nice day.
Thank you too.
All right.
Welcome to UG's Fashion Hub, the home of female wears and accessories. Try the new elegance. You'll love it, ladies, I guarantee. Oh, Clarice, what seems to be the matter again? Oh, I know. You've seen the reviews and you wonder where you can find Yuji's fashion hub and how you can get across to her directly. Oh, come on now, Clarice. I know you're fed up with your old, expensive but ugly clothes and you dream of being a princess one day, arrayed in beautiful, affordable wares just like your friends. But your main friends don't want to show you how to get your very own delivery just like her.
Why you just fashion hub, baby? Thank you so much. Yeah, see our boo-boo. I don't know why you have not come to buy your own. No. Limited stock. Limited stock. Yeah. She bought 3 only our Odogu wine. Please. See, my customers are Odogu. Yes, 3 at once. It's not easy. The next person should better come and buy 5. They don't used to deal with small girls. It's just Odogu.
See how happy she was? Having some of these and more delivered to her in a professional and timely fashion, irrespective of her location. Now here's your chance.